Hi, Redheaded Riding Hood here. Call me Red. Said I was going to do one on codependency. I don't need to do one on, just Google it. I'm going to probably post some links below. This is a problem I realized I had really many years ago. And I feel like it's very accepted and almost just applauded in the church. Like, you're supposed to want to help people. You're supposed to want to fix people. You're supposed to want to do everything for people. You're supposed to be selfless. What's the matter with that? What's the matter with it's good, but it nearly destroyed me. If you listen to Lisa A. Romano, she says the same thing. It just, you need low battery. You need to be needed, and you get your significance out of taking care of everybody else and fixing everybody else's problems. And I can remember years ago, the neighbor's son was kind of troubled, and I used to have them over at my house, and all the kids in the neighborhood at the other house, the little house, the house that I sold and bought my RV and all that. He went to jail, and I wanted to go visit him in jail, but you couldn't visit unless you were a family or a pastor or something. I tried to get my pastor to go see him too. And I was talking to another neighbor, and she said, "Susan, you can't save the world." But I was gonna try. And I exhausted myself trying. I honestly did. We taught in children's church for many years at the First Baptist church we were at. And then we taught in Awanas at the church other church we went to. So we were at church all the time, and I homeschooled. I would try to help, homeless people. I would try to help troubled teens at church, and it just, I look back at it now, and while I do feel I was a good mother, I could beat myself up over and over again because, about things I did and stuff like that. I do wish I had mainly focused on my own family, and what I did was pulled all these other dysfunctional people in, and it just made everything more complicated. And actually, I feel like in some ways she didn't, in some ways she did. In some ways, my mom had more proper boundaries than I did. I mean, well, she had 7 kids, but she also realized, well before um, well before she passed, that she was codependent. Like I said, this is a book for recovering people that I read from often, and my not that my dad was an addict, but he was bipolar, and she had a counselor tell her that maybe she had a counselor tell her she was codependent. I don't really know about that. I don't remember her saying that. But my oldest brother did have a substance abuse for as long as I can remember. So she was codependent with him. And, I observed that as a child, even as a young child. My oldest brother was 15 years older than me. There's 7 of us, and I'm the youngest. And so from a very young child, I can remember a couple of family dinners, or specifically Thanksgiving, and he had taken they didn't see him take it, obviously, but I guess he had taken something. I thought it was just the alcohol. I think that's why I decided when I was a teenager and maybe drinking a little bit sometimes, that I wouldn't drink at all. Because what you observed him doing was drinking, but you didn't know that he was also taking something. But he would pass out in the chair, and then one Thanksgiving, it was really windy, and a tree fell on his truck, but we couldn't wake him up. He was passed out, and we couldn't wake him up. And then one time, he was wasted and trying to leave, and I can remember my mom fighting with my brother, and my brothers were all 6 feet or over. Some of them were taller than that, but Tim was about 6'1", and here's my mom, who was like 5'7", fighting with him to get his keys because he was trying to drive while he was under the influence, and so that's why it was chaotic. It was chaotic at times, and it wasn't always like that, but sometimes it was very chaotic. And so, but codependency has sort of evolved, and it really has evolved with narcissists, and I feel like my ex, who I feel is covert narcissist, he's very codependent and enables people, and has that dependency of wanting to look like the good guy, and like together we would do it together, because like when I would pick up a homeless person, and what was I thinking, and why did he let me do that? We want to look like saintly, but it's not a good idea to pick up a homeless person and let them sleep in your house. My ex did later say that he had his gun under the, and it's like, we have a house full of kids, they could have done something to one of our kids, and if my kids are watching this, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. My mom would never do something like that. I do remember us one time trying to help a woman who, though we had called the authorities for a person that I think they were trying to rape her, and they had her in a car, and they took her over. There were these abandoned fields across the street from our house in California, and she got away from these people, and she was crying, and I can remember this, and I was probably very young. I I don't remember. And she didn't speak a lot of English, and I remember that she was crying, and we were trying, but you know, we didn't have her spend the night at our house. But we got her help. So anyways, I guess I learned a lot of my codependency from my mom. But as I got out of these enmeshed relationships and then left Georgia and set out in my RV and met new people, I kept on seeing, and I kept seeing it in the Airbnb thing where I'm like, okay, I'm getting into this with this guest, or, you know, longer term guests, and guests that needed help. You know, like I had a homeless woman that stayed at my Airbnb once, and then, you know, I gave her money back. I didn't have her pay, and then of course she wanted to, you know, keep it. When there was a she messaged me when there was the hurricane coming through, and I was like, sure, come on over. I have a room available. And one time she was on the couch because my rooms were all full, and so I could see myself with these Airbnb guests getting into the same, like, enmeshed, like, let me help you, and but thankfully I was recognizing it. But anyways, there's so much information on YouTube and online, and when I was at Minister of Music's live the other night, he mentioned the verse in Hosea, and it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And I just feel like that's helped me so much to learn, you know, not only the Bible, doing the devotionals every day is helping me, but also I watch these channels a lot. I watch them frequently. I keep watching them, because when I stop watching them, and that's what I feel like when I was traveling around in my RV, I was not watching them, and then I felt like I got into relationships again where I was like, here, let me help you, let me save you. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna be your mom, and I'm gonna, you know, and it's just like, and it also sort of seems like I attract the type of person that wants to use me, and, you know, I no longer want to be the martyr and let people use me. I'm learning to self-care, take care of myself, and sort of learn what I want, and I'm learning a lot of stuff. So I hope you enjoy this channel and enjoy learning these things along with me. And I will post some videos below on codependency. Two good books that I read are Codependent Now What by Melody Beattie, and no, Codependent Now What? Well, one's by Lisa A. Romano. What is that one? Let me Google it. Anyways, two good authors on codependency are Lisa A. Romano and Melody Beattie. Let's just say that. Oops, I got a lot of notifications. All right, well, that's all. Oh, I went 14 minutes rambling on. Anyways, put your comments below. Tell me if you identify with that. What channels do you like that are on codependency or narcissism? I also have the links in my featured channels, some of them, Lisa A. Romano and Dr. Romani, where they talk about these things. And it's good to keep learning. All right, that's it. Love you. Have a good day. Have a good Friday. Bye.